Monica Villela Grayley will now speak to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Farhan, and good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see you again. I will start with the trip that the PJ is undertaken to South Sudan. The President of the General Assembly, Mr. Dennis Francis, arrived earlier today in Juba, capital of South Sudan, for an official visit. The PJ was welcomed by the country's Deputy Foreign Minister, His Excellency Mr. Monday Semaya Kumba, Ms. Kiki Gbeho, the UN Resident Coordinator in South Sudan, and the Permanent Representative of South Sudan to the United Nations, Her Excellency Ms. Cecilia A.M. Adeng. President Francis expressed his interest in connecting with the people and the government of South Sudan, who will also take the opportunity to further strengthen and foster cooperation between the Republic of South Sudan and the United Nations, and to demonstrate his full support and that of the General Assembly for the ongoing efforts to consolidate peace, security, development in the country, the Horn of Africa, as well as in the entire African region. While in Juba, Mr. Francis will pay a courtesy call on the President of South Sudan, His Excellency Mr. Salva Kiir Mayardit, and hold separate bilateral meetings with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, His Excellency Mr. Ramadan Abdallah Gok Ayu, as well as other cabinet members. The PJ plans to engage with representatives of civil society organizations, university students, female peacekeepers, and children during a radio show. Mr. Francis and his delegation arrives in South Sudan following an official visit to Tajikistan, where he attended the third high-level international conference on the International Decade for Action, Water for Sustainable Development. The President of the General Assembly issued a post on his ex-social media account expressing his deepest condolences to the government and people of Malawi on the tragic loss of the country's Vice President, His Excellency Mr. Saulus Klaus Chilima, as well as 9 other members of the Vice President's delegation during a plane crash on Monday in the north of Malawi. PJ Dennis Francis said that his thoughts and his prayers are with the families and loved ones during this difficult time. The PJ has appointed 2 co-facilitators to conduct the intergovernmental consultations on a brief, concise, action-oriented declaration as part of the high-level 2025 UN conference to support the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 14, conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. The co-facilitators will be Her Excellency, Ms. Tânia Serafim Ivone Romualdo, Permanent Representative of the Republic of Cabo Verde to the UN, and His Excellency Mr. James Martin Larson, Permanent Representative of Australia to the United Nations. And the declaration is to be concluded by 1st May 2025, next year, and adopted by consensus at the high-level 2025 UN conference on this matter. Looking forward, President Dennis Francis has recorded a video message to mark the 3rd International Day for Countering Hate Speech on 18th June. The PJ's video will be showed during the high-level event to celebrate the International Day, which this year focuses on investing in the power of youth for countering and addressing hate speech. According to the UN, the world has 1.2 billion young people aged 15 to 24 years, which represents 16% of the global population. Mr. Francis believes that hate speech has become one of the most virulent methods used to spread divisive rhetoric and ideologies. It's pernicious, impacts amplified by new communications and social media technologies that relentlessly torment its targets. The event is co-organized by the Mission of the Kingdom of Morocco to the United Nations and the Office of the Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide. The meeting will take place from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 18 June at the ECOSOC Chamber for your diaries. And tomorrow, 13 June, the GA will hold informal consultations on the Summit of the Future in the afternoon. You know by now. Member states will also hold informal consultations on the high-level meeting on antimicrobial resistance tomorrow morning and on Friday, 14th June. Also, Friday morning, there will be an informal consultation, or I should say informal consultations, plural, to discuss the high-level meeting on addressing the existential threats posed by sea level rise. On 19 June, the General Assembly will hold a plenary meeting on the implementation of the Declaration of Commitment on HIV/AIDS and the Political Declaration on HIV/AIDS. And for all of you interested in the Security Council reform, on Thursday and Friday next week, the GA will hold an informal meeting on the plenary of the intergovernmental negotiations on the question of equitable representation on and increase in the membership of the Security Council and other matters. So why am I giving you all this? Because this is everything we have for today, and I will be back here with you in early July, but you will receive updates from the PJ's office via your mailbox or directly with my colleagues here in our office to assist you in anything you need. But for today, do you have any questions? I am here to answer if you have any questions here or on the screen. I don't see anyone on the screen. So if not, I would say wonderful, have a wonderful day and the rest of the week, and I will see you in July. Thank you.